Yeah, before we start the webinar, I just appreciate it if you guys have any questions, just write them down either in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and towards the end of the session, we'll make sure to answer all your questions. All right. Okay, so by the end of this webinar, we'll be able to skim for reading our general understanding how to skim, and we'll have a look at true, false, not given questions, as well as the heading 1 questions. All right. Let's start off with the strategies. Of course, in IELTS reading, as you might know, for those who take the exam before, you don't have time to read every single word. Otherwise, you'll be wasting all your time, you know? Instead, you need to master a few skills in order to be able to get the answer, right? So some skills should be mastered here. Which reading skills do you think are very important? Multiple choice? Skimming, okay. All right. Skimming. And there's also scanning and reading carefully. These are the skills required in the reading section, really. You need to master or need to be familiar with all these skills in reading, okay? What is skimming? Any idea what skimming is? Read so fast? Okay. So read so fast, why? What's the purpose of it? Yeah, in order to get an overall idea. Some people say they cannot hear me very well. Can you all hear me? Or is there any problem? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so reading in order to find or to understand the overall meaning. And what about scanning? Scanning is looking for specific words, keywords, in order to answer certain questions. So scanning, unlike skimming, is not, we don't do it in order to get an overall idea. However, we do it to look for specific words. For example, dates, names, things like that. Reading carefully, we do that after skimming or after scanning. Read a few sentences or phrases carefully. This helps you to get the answer, okay? So, right. Yeah, as I told you, we need a combination of these skills in most question types, right? All right, some people like to skim read the whole passage before they have a look at the questions. However, I suggest that you guys always have a look at the questions first before skimming or scanning. Yeah, skimming is having an overall view. So skim read each paragraph just to understand what the main idea is. Scanning, though, we have a look at the keywords in the questions and we look for these words in the passage. This is what we mean by scanning. Quick reading, but just not for the purpose of understanding the main idea, for the purpose of looking for these specific words or dates or names. And then we read carefully after scanning, after finding these words, you read carefully to get the answer, right? Okay. So let's have a look at, as I said here, skimming is general reading or fast reading in order to get an overall idea. And we usually use this skill, skimming, and matching hidden question. This is, of course, the most important skill. No, we don't have to use all of these skills, but it's either skimming or scanning or detailed reading, yeah? Depends on the question type. Yeah. And what do you mean by someone says here skimming is skipping the unnecessary parts. Unnecessary means unimportant words. For example, the or to articles. Yeah. So we always look at the keywords, the most important words in a sentence or in a paragraph, like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on and so forth. Okay. Let's practice this. We'll start by paragraph 1, as you might see here. Okay, we're going to read the title and the heading. I'm going to spend around 2-3 minutes to understand the main idea. And usually, but not always, the main idea is in the first and last sentences, not lines, sentences, but not always. So let's have a look here at this paragraph. First sentence, as you might see. Okay, I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes. And I'd like you to tell me what the main idea is according to this paragraph. Okay. So we have here this, according to traditional historiography, ruled, important, Yellow River, second millennium. So maybe this paragraph is about people who ruled in this part or this river. Yeah. And then we have archaeological work, ruins. Okay, this is not important, what's between bracket. Identified last Chang capital, uncovered 11 major Yuan royal tombs and the foundation of places and ritual sites containing weapons of wars, remaining both animals and human sacrifices. Okay, so what do you think here would be the main idea? Okay, let's see. Just trying to read weapons. Is it just about weapons? Okay. If it's like a historical background. Okay. Study about the past civilization of what? Just try to be specific. History. If you would just say words, this is not the main idea. These are just words. History. History of what? History of the Chinese. Okay. Okay. Weapons for animals and humans. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, as someone said here, it's about the history of ancient Chinese history. Specifically here of weapons and yes. Right. And who ruled at that time. Okay. Now let's have a look at, because this is not the hidden question yet. Let's have a look at the questions then. As I told you, some people not prefer to read the question, the paragraph before having a look at the question. Other people prefer skimming or scanning the questions first. I personally think it would be better to have a look at the questions first. Okay? Yes. So now let's have a look at the questions here. Underlining. The first thing you do is in true, false, not given question, underline the key words in each question. Usually, but not always, the questions are in the same order of the passage, but not always. So let's see, can you tell me what you think the keywords are? No, we're not answering yet. What do you think the keywords are in question 1? The most important keywords mean the most important words in the sentence. So for example, yeah, discovered. Okay, when discovered. Written records. Grave goods. Accurate. Right. So what would be the next step? Looking for these words in the passage or in the paragraph, right? And of course, you're not going to find the same exact words. What you will find would be synonyms, other words, paraphrase statements of these words. Okay, so this is really, really important. Do not expect to find the same words. So we're going to look for discovered, the written records, whether they prove to be accurate or not. And not given, it means it's not there. This piece of information is not mentioned. Okay, right. So let's go back to the previous slide. And yeah, let's see whether this is true, false, or it's not mentioned at all. Hang on. All right, so let's first of all scanning. Is it mentioned in the paragraph here? Okay. Anything about the written records, or what do you guys think? Okay. What do you think here? So this would be, sorry, just a minute. I have a glitch in my screen. 1 minute. Okay. So as you see here, we went back to, oh yeah, sorry. We went back. Okay. Oh yeah, we look here, scanned here, nothing mentioned about the written work, right? What do you think? Paragraph 2. Let's move to paragraph 2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not given. Okay. Right. Some people say here it's a not given. Okay. Says here the written records prove to be accurate. Okay. Okay, let's see whether this is not given or not. Okay. So as you see here, these are the keywords in the question. Next, we move to the second one. Again, keywords, human skeletons, and then we have a name, and young, Trong, identified soldiers killed in a war. So these are the keywords you need to look for in the paragraph or in the scanning first. So this is the most important step, okay? Right. And then you will look for this in the passage. So let's see here whether we're gonna find it. These words in the passage. Okay. Right. Let's see here. We have here a tomb of, what's his name? Anyang. Can you see the name? Okay. Skeleton like that. That's the bones over there, yeah. So we have here, as you see, I'm just trying to highlight. Let me just highlight it here. Yeah, there. Okay. If you want me to go back to the question, that's fine. Just to remember what the keywords were in the question. So the human skeletons in the tomb identified soldiers killed in the war. So whether they were identified as the soldiers were killed in the war or not. Okay, let's see here. We have archaeological work near the modern day identified. Okay, uncovered even Yan tombs. What do you think of that here? False. Why is it a false? Okay. Why do you think it's false? Okay. Right. Okay. It says here, okay, the name of the tomb, as you say here, the tomb of this person, the ruins of the ancient Chang or capital, but nothing is mentioned about the skeleton, right? So what do you think here? Okay. Yes, yeah, exactly. This would be a false, right? Okay, let's move now to another question where you can see the topic sentence. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, and back to another question, please. Yeah, there's another question about another tomb. Sorry for going back and forth. Terracotta army discovered, also there are other words important here. Discovered, people, lived nearby by chance. Okay, so it's about the Terracotta army and was discovered by people who lived nearby by chance. Just the word lived is repeated, I'm sorry. Okay, so these keywords, we're gonna look for these words in the paragraph first, okay? Right. So let's move to another paragraph. Sorry. So the first thing first is this. Can you see it? Terracotta army. By chance, it means, yeah. Discovered. Okay. Terracotta soldier accidentally discovered. What do you think? Yeah, this is true. Definitely. So the first thing we do is, yeah, I found the keyword here. Next step would be detailed reading. So once I found Terracotta army discovered, Now I'm going to read in detail just to make sure that the sentence is true or is false, or maybe the whole information is not there. All right. So we use kind of more than one skill here. Yes, accident, it means by chance. Is it clear now? Okay. Now we'll move to next question. Okay, the last one is about the size. Yes, the size of King Tutankhamun's tomb bigger than that of the Queen or Queen Emperor's tomb. So it's about the size and a comparison here. Okay. Now let's find out whether this is mentioned or not, or false. Okay. So first, again, as I told you guys, scanning. We scan, look for that name. We have names here, so that makes searching a lot easier. Can you find any names, or have you scanned any words here? Okay, yeah. Size. So as you see here, right, the name is mentioned here. Okay. 6, complete by dismantled. And where's the comparison? Because here it's mentioned that compared with the other one. Okay. So this is a false. It's not true. Why do you think it's false? Right, it's the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, we have here the Queen's tomb, and there's the size of it. So we have here sizes, and it's actually the opposite of it, right? Okay, yeah. So I hope now it's clear just this or the skills needed in true false not given. First thing first, in true false not given, scanning or underlining the keywords. This is a very important step. Next, you look for these words in the passage, and then you do detailed reading to figure out whether the sentence is true or false or not even mentioned. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move to another question. Right. Okay. I'm sorry, just give me 1 minute. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm back. Can you hear me? Or just checking the mic. Everything is all right? Okay. Okay. Now, we'll move to another question, which is the heading question, right? As a lot of you here just mentioned, it's one of the most challenging questions for many people. As you know, in heading question, you'll be given a list of titles, headings, and the number of titles are more than the number of paragraphs, which means some titles will not be used, right? The first thing you do is, again, you can have a look at the title first, read the titles. So read the titles first, not just reading, but I'd say identify the keywords in each title, and then skim read each paragraph, not all of the passage, each paragraph at a time, and then go back to the headings and pick the most suitable title. Okay. Right? Okay, so let's practice this. So the skills used here mainly, I'd say, skimming and detailed reading for the heading question, right? Okay. Let's have a look now at a complete question. Here, as you see, there's a passage, list of headings, you see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have 6 paragraphs. Again, as we said, the first step is underline the keywords in each title. So let's start with the first one. Can you guys tell me what are the keywords in each title? So we have here, I say research findings, habitats, decisions made. These are the keywords. Okay, and findings, of course, it means results. Yeah. Yeah. The next one is fluctuations, bitter number. protecting young veterans, successful research. So just make sure that you familiarize yourself with the titles before skim reading each one, okay, or each paragraph. Beginning, calculate numbers, just beginning. So the word beginning is actually important here. Importance, food. Research, read bed. Establishing winter reserve. Okay, what would be the next step? Okay, next step is reading or skim reading, to be honest. Yeah, so skim read each paragraph, not the whole passage, right? So now let's skim read paragraph A. I'm gonna give you a minute just to skim read the first paragraph, and then we'll go back to the headings to see which would be the most suitable title. And a heading would mean that it's like a summary of the main idea, right? The title of the paragraph. Skim read, and then yeah, pick the most suitable title. So let's skim read first. So here, while reading or while skim reading, look at the keywords. Look at the most important words. Do not read every single word. Try to focus on the main idea. Yeah. So what do you think the main idea is for this paragraph? Fluctuation. A lot of people say double I, right? Fluctuations, bitter numbers. Why do you think it's fluctuation and bitter number? Which keywords or which words helped you pick this title? Yeah, because the word fluctuation, it means, what does that mean? Rising and falling, not just falling, by the way. Yeah, rise and fall. Because here, see? Okay. Fluctuation is not just, we have here following numbers rose to a peak and then falling to fewer than 20%, right? So here, there's a fluctuation, right? Yeah. Okay, now let's move to, yes, the second one. Okay, we'll do the same with paragraph B. Now let's have a look at paragraph B. Skim reading it. It's a little bit longer. Then we'll have a look at the most suitable title. Right. All right. Someone says, let's see what you guys think. V and VI. Somebody said VI. Do you think it's VI? Is it about the important, VI says the importance of food. So do you think this paragraph, the whole paragraph, is about the importance of food? No, of course not, right? Why do you think it's V? It says here, beginning to calculate the numbers. What do you think? Yeah, why do you think this is the correct answer? So there, first challenge, develop the standard methods, calculation, way to monitor the numbers, right? So the steps, the first step is, yeah, and we developed a method to count them. So the whole paragraph is about the method or beginning to count the numbers or calculate. Yeah, there's something very important and like, okay, something really, really important, which is you don't really have to understand every single word in the passage. What if you don't understand a word? What do you think should be done here? Should you just stop or continue? If you don't understand a word, just continue. Try to guess the meaning from the context, right? This is what helps in reading, especially if you're in the exam. Yep. Okay. Let's move to another paragraph. Yeah. Let's move to paragraph C now. Okay. All right. We'll do the same by having a look at the keywords or the main idea, basically, of this paragraph. So first, direct understanding, habitat needs, reading, came from, comparisons. recommendations and okay, let's see. Oh, we have lots of how to manage. So which one is it? VII research. Okay. You all agree it's VI? All right. Research is the first one. Research findings and decision made. Yes. Yeah. Where is the research here? Understanding of the habitat place. And then based on this work, wrote recommendations, how to manage and rehabilitate reed beds for bittern were made, the decisions made. Yeah. And followed by the decisions made here about the habitats. Why not? Somebody said, why not VII research? Is the whole paragraph about the research? Or do you think some decisions also were made? Like if you're going to compare VII and I, which you think would be the most suitable title? Yeah. Okay. How about, yeah, maybe you can have a look at paragraph D, and I think this will help you understand. Let's have a look at paragraph D. Okay. What do you think paragraph D is about here? Yeah, paragraph D is more like a research, right? Yes, yes. It's more like a research. Yeah. So this would be the most suitable research into the reed bed. We radio tracked male bitterns on the RSPBs, and then the whole paragraph is giving you an idea about the research, right? And yes, the research into the reed bed. However, in paragraph C, nothing was mentioned about that. Yeah. A lot of research done here. Yeah, and yeah, but basically for paragraph C as well, it's about the habitat and the decision made, right? However, in paragraph D, it's basically about the reed bed and the research done. So that's the difference, let's say. Okay, there's still 2 more paragraphs to go, so let's have a look at paragraph E. Pay attention that we already picked these, yeah. So let's have a look at the keywords here, or the main idea of this paragraph. So here, as you see, final phase, understanding, diet, these are the keywords: survival, dispersal, bittern, chicks. So these are the keywords that could help you understand. And then you continue reading as well. What do you think? Let me give you a few seconds. Triple I, good. Good job. Why do you think it's triple I? Is it because of the word chicks? Yes. Okay. You need to make sure that it's the whole paragraph is about protecting also, not, yeah, protecting. Yeah, but just because of young birds. Yeah, why do you think? Because they didn't want to survive, and starvation was found to be the most likely reason. So what do you think here? Okay, let's have a look here. A lot of you said it's I, but is it about protecting young bitterns? Yeah, it's VI. It's not I. It's about the food, because as you see the first paragraph, as I told you, pay attention to the keywords, specifically in the first and the last sentences, involve understanding the diet of these bittern chicks. And the whole paragraph is about that. Many of them did not survive, and starvation was found to be the most likely reason. And this is the importance of foods or diet for them. Okay. It is a trap sometimes. Yeah, I know. So pay attention to keywords. Do not pick a title because it says here, for example, chicks, and here, yeah, young veteran. So you're going to pick this one. Pay attention to the meaning of the whole title, the whole heading. Right, the last one. Let's have a look at paragraph F now. Yeah, take your time to skim read the whole paragraph. Yeah. So I have different answers here. Okay. We already did I. Yeah. Triple I and okay. Well, the answer would be, let's see. Successful research. Okay. It's triple I. Yeah. Why do you think it's triple I? For those who mentioned, it's triple I, protecting young veterans. Right. Let's see the keywords here that helped. Young veterans were found to seek out new sites. So where's the protection part? EU Life funded project aims to provide these suitable sites in the new areas, how to protect them. And these sites develop this partnership will secure a more sustainable UK veteran population. So the whole paragraph is about protection, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, the whole paragraph is not just about young veterans, but it's about protection. Right. Yes. Triple I. Yeah. Correct. So I understand it can be a bit confusing, right? So here are the tips again for skim reading. I mean, heading questions. Skim the headings, underline the keywords, and then have a look at each paragraph at a time. Skim through each paragraph, try to understand the main idea of it, and then go back to the headings. If you have time, of course, this would be, I'd say, this step number 3 at home while practicing before the test. Summarize the main idea in your own words. Maybe write down a title in your own words for each paragraph before choosing the most suitable heading. Next, focus on the first. Also focus, as I said, on the first and last sentences, usually, but not always. They help you find the main idea. And then check the list of headings and choose the closest match, not based on the words, but based on the meaning of the whole paragraph, the main idea, right? Yeah, again, the main idea, not the detail. This is not scanning. Yeah. Okay, do I need to write the answers in lowercase? It doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah. If you're not sure, yeah, what if you're not sure? We can move to the next paragraph and then go back to the previous paragraph later, right? If you're confused between two headings, then go back, reread the heading, the paragraph, and then make your decision. Okay? I hope I've made it clear now. Any questions so far? Right, I'll try. Okay. It just needs lots of practice, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Then let me tell you a little bit about our service. One of the services we offer is the one-on-one classes with a tutor. So a lot of students really, they need guidance, they need help with a professional and experienced IELTS tutor. So we offer that one-on-one session in case you want to take a full course, or if you want to focus only on one skill or two skills, or just take a few sessions before your test. So these sessions or these classes are flexible. They're customized according to your needs and availability. So I recommend, if a lot of you haven't taken the exam before, or if you're struggling with maybe you're still at year 6.5 and you cannot get a 7 or any score you want. So I recommend taking or booking a lesson or a few lessons with a tutor. If you guys have any detailed, or if you have any questions about these courses or these sessions, you could scan this code for consultation, right?